Hoka, hey, Alita Army. Welcome to the Alita live stream of July the 22nd, 2022. Let's have a general discussion about Alita, where we discuss all things to do with the movie Alita Battle Angel, the source manga Gundam, and the greatly desired sequels. I am your host, the Muskogee Creek, who is currently in Linville, North Carolina, soon to return to Colorado. And we have with us today Chaos Nova. He's from Mentor, Ohio. How's it going, Chaos? I think you might be muted. Okay, I think he's either muted or he's having problems with his audio. So Angelus will be joining us pretty soon here. Pretty early for those Aussies, I think, to be getting up so early in the morning, that kind of thing. He's probably getting his coffee and maybe even a bowl of cereal or something. Who knows? So anyway, we're going to make this a really short stream tonight because I have to drive across country tomorrow and I'm getting up very early. And oops, there's something that I need to get rid of. And I guess I need to get a good night's sleep before I do this. So we'll try to keep this stream to an hour. But you guys know me. If once I get to talking about Alita, who knows? But that's the goal, is to make it a short stream tonight anyway. Chaos, are you there? Okay, let's move on. Before we get into the actual topic, like I've been doing the last 3 weeks, I want to kind of plug a little bit, a couple of kind of important series here, a very entertaining series. I watched this series or finished watching it, I think about 3 weeks ago, and it is extremely good. So I highly recommend this series. It's on Prime Video, and I think you'll enjoy it. It has our queen in it, Rosa, and she does a fantastic job, as do the other actors. This thing is put together very well, and all the actors do a superb job, and the effects in it are pretty neat too. So just something that I think you should put on your list, and maybe try to watch that thing as soon as you can. It's very entertaining. It's not something that you have to power through to watch. It's easy to watch. Hello, Safani Sung. I just put for you and maybe David, Alexandra, and some of the others, I just put a link in the chat. If you want to come on and talk about Alita, there it is. So I highly recommend you watch Undone Season. Also, our other girl, Elle Lamont, now, I think this thing may have premiered already. I am not sure about that. I've been pretty busy this week, so I haven't had a chance to go on Crackle and look for it. But I believe that thing may have already premiered, or if not, it'll be in the next few days because we're coming up on the end of the month. And I am so sure if it's anything like Starship Troopers, which is what I've seen in some of the posts on Instagram and all, it's going to be pretty neat. Elle she has actually a speaking part in this, and it's got some pretty good actors in it, like Casper Von Dien and Armand Asante is in it. So it's really good. Hello, Safani Sung. How's it going?
That's really good, Craig.
It's good to have you on the stream.
Yeah, that's good too, man.
You bet. So anyway, I guess go on Crackle. I think you may have to sign up for the plus kind of subscription for this. I am not sure about that, but I think if you go on crackle.com, I think you'll find it out. I'm not sure if it's on another streaming service or not. You'll just have to check that out. You could probably Google that and figure out where it is. So, but anyway, I think it's on Crackle, and I believe this is going to be a good series. It's going to be 6 episodes. So how you doing there, Safani Sung? How are things there in California?
I don't know, it's getting hot, California, and heat waves.
Yeah, it's pretty hot here too in North Carolina, which is unusual for the mountains. Up here, it's usually cool, although it's been cool at night, so it gets down into the low 60s. So,
Yeah.
which is about, I don't know how much that is in Celsius, probably
15 to 20, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, 15 to 20. So how you doing, Chaos? I think were you having trouble with your audio or something, or just stepped away?
I just stepped away.
Oh, okay. All right, then let's go ahead and get into our primary topic here today. Make sure you watch both Undone Season 2. I would recommend that you watch Undone Season 1 first if you haven't seen it, because this thing ties up a lot of loose ends, so you want to make sure of that. And then, of course, Salvage Marines, this is the first season of it.
I also wanted to say thanks for all those who stopped by at the Fist of the North Star.
Oh, yeah, that's
one day.
Yeah, that's very enjoyable. From what I saw, I was unable to, because I had company over Wednesday when I stopped over, and then Thursday I had more company over, so I haven't been able to watch it. But
it happens.
Yeah, I did save it though on my YouTube channel in my private playlist. So I'm going to watch it. So it was really enjoyable. From what I was only on your stream about 30 minutes, but it was I enjoyed watching it.
Yeah, well, thanks. BS is Real was telling me that I could reserve a room on Amazon, so I'm looking at that right now.
Okay, cool.
For the next one. But thanks for everyone who stopped by. Vladdy too.
Oh yeah. Who was the other fellow that was on there?
He's Jerome from New Jersey. He's also BS is Real.
Okay. Yeah, next time you communicate with him or something, because I had to leave in kind of a hurry. Tell him I didn't have a chance to say glad to meet you or anything like that, So
I will.
Yeah, make sure, because I wasn't being a snob or anything, So
no, it's okay. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay, let's go ahead and get into the topic, I guess. And certainly, this is, like I mentioned at the beginning, this is just going to be a general kind of discussion, because I want to keep it short today because of going, hopping in my car and driving all the way to Missouri tomorrow. That's going to be a long drive. And I think after this one, we're going to have another brief discussion about the Alita Army itself. But anyway, here's some of the things we can discuss, and some of the stuff that's not up here. I mean, this is just what I thought off the top of my head. Which do you prefer? Do you prefer anime, manga, or movie Alita? Even some of her physical traits, which of course for Angelus, which I suspect he's going to be on pretty soon here, if he's not working, that is. Of course, that's going to include Uwu. So I had to put that one in there. The action scenes and her fighting against, say, the three cyborgs, Gorwishka, Zapan, that kind of stuff. One thing that we have noted on several streams, not just this stream, but on the Radio Chaos stream, is one of the things about Alita that we all love about her is that perseverance and determination that she has. I mean, she is, when she gets focused on an objective or a target, she is going to achieve it come hell or high water. That's what she's going to do, But anyway, that's, we'll talk a little bit about that, and I'll open the floor eventually to Chaos and Safani Sung. Her relationships, and that's not just not limited to the movie. I mean, that's going to also be in the anime or the manga itself. Like, for instance, certainly she had a relationship with Hugo, and we all know about that from the movie, but she also had a relationship with Figure 4. And what was neat about that relationship is it kind of started out different than her relationship with Hugo. Hugo, she was smitten from the beginning. And, she kind of had that teenage infatuation thing going at that point, and they kind of came together. Hugo finally, I guess he kind of relented. He was trying, in the manga, I think he doesn't really care about Alita all that much until the very end, and then he does. But in the movie, it's different. It's a gradual process for him, but he gradually, kind of falls for Alita, But with Figure 4, as we know, that relationship started out contentious. I mean, not on the train. It was kind of neutral on the train, but eventually, pretty soon after that, it was a little contentious. When he had her tied up, dangling from that rope off that from that high-rise building. And I don't know how I forget how he managed to do that, because she'd be pretty tough to subdue, in either the tuned or the berserker body, which is, I think she was in the tuned body when she met Figure 4. Anyway, some of the history about Alita, we could talk about that, her being in the Army military, or say what she went through in the Mars Chronicles as a little girl, a toddler, and a little girl herself. Some of her adversaries, some of the antagonists that she had to face, and there were a bunch of them. I think if you remember with our interview with Elle Lamont, she kind of referenced the fact that just about a lot of people were against, working against Alita, like Vector, Nova, Grewishka, Zapan, the two other cyborgs in the alley. And, she was able to handle them. Her motorball, competition that she went through, which actually wasn't a competition. It actually turned into murder ball, as a matter of fact. So, where, I guess Vector offered the other combatants in there, and I'm going to call them combatants as opposed to contestants, because it was never going to be a contest. It was going to be a hunt, as he said. But anyway, how she handled that, certainly the Zenith of Things tournament, where, she basically was in her Imaginos 2.0 body, and eventually got the Imaginos 2.1 body during her fight with Toji. I've heard some folks don't really like the Zot as much as they do, say, Motorball or other parts of the manga. I really enjoyed the Zot, and I guess the reason why I did was because, Alita is really overpowered in that thing, and that's what I kind of like about it. I like seeing Alita being almost superhero, type capabilities and abilities. Certainly her Badlands arc, of course, that would also include, meeting Figure 4, fighting against Den, the Barjack, and that kind of stuff. So that's in there. Certainly there's a 10-year gap in there, too, that certainly it'd be neat if Kishiro would write about that, but I'm not sure he is. But, we'll see how that works out. And then just, of course, Iron City and Zalem, or even Jeru for that matter, that being Catheres, Teferes, and the Scrapyard in the manga. So any of these topics, I guess are fair game. And of course, any topic about Alita is fair game on this stream. So anyway, Chaos, I guess I'll start with you. What is something you want to talk about in terms of talking about Alita or discussing Alita? Okay, I think Chaos had to step away again. Safani Sung, anything that strikes you about Alita, that we perhaps you would like to talk about? Maybe it's not on that list, or maybe something you want to go into detail on some of these points here.
Let's talk about history. Sorry, Craig. I can't think about it, Craig, because I can't read the manga that much, Craig.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mike.
Oh, that's all right. Yeah, I guess history, most of that is certainly.
Mostly INC. The football coins and preserving the mission. Because I know it's like history.
Yeah. We saw a little bit of her history, didn't we, in the movie when she was fighting on the moon? When she was going up the supply tube to Zalem, we saw that. But most of her history actually is in the Mars Chronicles, and where she is, her and Erica are basically toddlers. I guess she's a toddler, and Erica is probably about 6 years old or something like that. So yeah, that's. Yeah, I kind of like that. I enjoyed the Mars Chronicles a lot. It's somewhat different than the other, like the original manga and the Last Order. Certainly because Alita mostly is she's a kid. She's not a young adult or a teenager like she is in the movie or in the rest of the manga, except for Volume 2 of the Mars Chronicles. That's kind of a look ahead, and that's particularly toward the end of it. I think it was after the Zot. So, but her history, includes certainly being a little girl, and surviving on Mars. And certainly another part of her history is, being in the military, where she was, I guess it looked to be second in command of that squad, where I guess Gelda was the kind of the squad leader there, and Alita was probably second to her. And of course, you get the feeling that Alita was a very accomplished soldier in the military. And as we do know from the movie, Ito said that Alita was the most advanced cyborg weapon ever created. So any of those military soldiers, they all were, they all had berserker bodies, or at least they had some version of a berserker body. Some of them probably had scaled back versions of it. And Alita probably had maybe a little more, and then of course Gelda probably had a pretty high version of it, but they all had a berserker body. So in a very real way, all of them had some extraordinary abilities that other cyborgs did not have, because they were all super advanced weapons, and we saw that on the moon, where she took out, 3 of those Earth Defense Force fighters, I guess, and she didn't even have a weapon, and they had plasma rifles, and she took all 3 of them out, So that would take extreme skill right there. So, and of course, she knew how to use firearms and that kind of stuff. Any other thoughts, guys?
I just feel like Gelda has a lot more to be seen if that's what the case is revealed to be.
Yeah, we don't know.
You have like it's intermittent flashbacks, but that might be what we end up getting.
Yeah, and we'll probably get that in the sequel too, where she remembers even more about her past, and maybe even we'll see some flashbacks of her as a little girl. How maybe she remembers her and Erica, or something.
Perhaps.
Like that. Yeah, which I would think that would be really cool, because Erica hasn't been introduced yet in the movie, And if they introduced Erica, even as a little girl in the movie, that'd be really nice. It'd be super cool, I think.
It could be, yeah.
But I think, some of the things about Alita's capabilities and her history, I think probably she had that plasma weapon when she was in the military, at least when she was second in command to Gelda, because when Ito finally gave her the berserker body she ended up with in the movie, she knew how to use that plasma weapon instinctively. So that tells me that's buried somewhere in her subconscious, that, and she recalled it when she was in the body, then, she was very adept with that weapon. She knew how to turn it on and how to control it, stuff like that. And you remember she told Hugo that body felt more her, so I think she probably had that plasma weapon, when she was in the military. So, and probably Gelda had that plasma weapon too. Now, I don't know about the other berserkers. They were probably like in the military, they have a term called grunts, which are like, privates and stuff like that. They may not have had the plasma weapon. I don't know, but hopefully we'll see that in the sequel too. Okay, anything else strikes your fancy there? Maybe Chaos or Safani Sung?
I guess I just mentioned too that the video game Martian Memory is a legit Force story, and to be honest, I think one of the biggest things is the fact that Ito is your father in that story.
Yeah,
and a lot of what he says is, it's similar to say I don't know, say Yoda or in the original 3 Star Wars movies, because a lot of what he says carries weight later on.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's a bullet I could have put up there. I mean, because I think the game Martian Memory is a valid could be it's a valid part of the IP, I think. And hola Leonardo, como está? So anyway,
Yeah, I mean, just I mean, Ito. 1 minute.
that's all right. Yeah, I think what Chaos was starting to allude there, and he can expound upon this when he comes on. There's Angelus.
G'day.
Good day, mate.
Hi, Angelus. But yeah, just the part where Ito is, your father, and he says, he advises you on a lot of things. He takes you back after Motorball's done too.
Oh, nice.
Well, he even walks in after Ed gets shot and says, "Look, you can just come back. I wouldn't have anything against I'm your father. Come on home again. You can come back and get things started at something else."
Nice. Oh, look at that. Nordley says that there's going to be in Europe, there's going to be a release, or there's talk of a release of a director's cut of Alita, which would be all those deleted scenes. So it'd be that 2.5 hour movie. I think that would be the coolest thing ever. I do want to mention too that Alita is playing on Prime Video here in the States. So that's cool, because she wasn't on there for a while. Now she's on there. So that's going to, and not just the movie, but even the movie and the extras, we got from the Blu-ray or the DVD rather. So Angelus, yeah, go ahead.
I was just thinking, father, what is the word I'm looking for? Oh my God, even before I said or started saying what I was going to say, I lost my train of thought. Damn it. But it has something to do with like the not just the title but the role that a father plays, because it doesn't even have to be blood related or even a stepfather per se, because
Yeah.
I mean, how many times have we said in society in general that boys and girls, just children in general, needs a quote unquote father figure?
Yeah.
And and I'm just thinking, what does that? I mean, I know that I've got a few very basic definitions, but what does that really mean?
Yeah.
And that's like the relationship between Ito and Alita is a perfect example of that. And not only that, it's almost like as if it's like a few different of those father figure examples that are just so well melded and just come together so cohesively that you don't even stop to think about it, because you're just so wow. That's exactly like the relationship I have with my father or my father figure.
Well, I know Chaos is a father, but I know I have 3 stepkids myself, and I consider them my kids. Their father passed away about 10 or 12 years ago, and my second wife and I, I mean, she had 3 kids, and when I married her, I became their stepfather, and even to this day, even though my second wife and I are divorced, we're still on speaking friendly terms. We're not mad at each other or anything like that, which is unusual, I think, sometimes. But that said, yeah, I get it. Because I mean, I care for those like kids like they were mine. At least that's my concept of it. Because I've never had a kid. But I got 3 stepkids, and they're all great. They're great people. They're all out of the house. They're not kids anymore. I think the youngest one's 28 years old and 29 years old. So they're not really kids per se. But, they still consider me their stepfather, and I still consider them my kids or stepkids, even though my second wife and I split up, 5 years ago. So I think it's the same thing. I think, I mean, yeah, just because they're not your biological kids doesn't mean that a person can't care for kids, stepkids even.
And just as a side note, and sort of, it's a side note that ironically enough goes back into the main topic, but often whenever I'm not directly involved in the conversation on top, like on hand,
Yeah.
I'm multitasking with Twitter or other stuff on my computer.
Okay.
And like as I was listening in the background, I think it might have been Chaos or yourself, but someone mentioned no, it was Chaos mentioning in the live chat, and then you expanded on it about the director's cut. So I was looking like Google searches, YouTube searches, and I came up with this.
Okay.
There's Gelda.
Yes.
But like just through Michelle Rodriguez's actions here, I mean, how amazing would like just seeing this, like just seeing that very short, like 2-second fight scene.
Yeah. Yeah, and that
And
one where you see Hugo putting on Alita's wheel feet, and of course that's right
yeah,
out of the that's out of the novelization, that where she's standing, she's straddling him and about to punch him.
yeah.
That's in the novelization. By the way, there is I don't know if you got this video from there, but on Raul Gola's his YouTube page, he's got all those deleted scenes. So I highly recommend you go to Raul's page and kind of check that out, because he has all those scenes on there.
Well, this is one of that's one of his videos, and I only just noticed that myself. But yeah, so I mean, even if you guys have an inkling of like an idea or a thought, does this even exist? Google it, YouTube it, and especially
Yeah.
if it has something to do with Alita, because you just don't know what you'll discover.
Oh
It's
yeah.
just amazeballs.
Yeah, it is. And I do think with that, if they do that director's cut, if they if they do release that, I guess in Europe, hopefully it'll come here to come to the U.S. and go to Australia and go to Asia and other places too, not just limited to Europe.
Well, there's also ways to get things. I mean, just because Martian Memory was in Japan didn't stop me from ordering it shipped across the ocean to me.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But what I'm thinking is they could do some neat things, kind of like the Snyder Cut did, when they had Martian Manhunter come down and meet Bruce Wayne, at the end. That was one of those post-credit scenes.
Right.
And they could do a similar thing with the director's cut of Alita, where they got 2 post-credit scenes they could put in there. They could put James Cameron's alternate scene, in there and just identify it as the alternate scene. But they could also put that scene of that little dog, with a cyborg body. That would be the coolest thing, I think. To put both of those in as post-credit scenes, and then that would really fill it out pretty well. In addition to the deleted scenes that they don't have in there now. So.
Oh, he could have gone both ways with that, because like having that as a post-credit scene, like it doesn't necessarily have anything to do with a sequel per se, but I mean it ties up a minor loose end that like it's going to be big amongst both like source material and non-source material fans.
Yeah.
Yes, but I think one of the things is it's tradition, okay? Like every Christopher Reeve Superman movie has Superman up and out of space smiling at the audience. It's not because there's going to be a sequel. It's just teasing the whole concept that he never stops being a hero. It's a comic book tradition.
Yes.
And following the traditions that the manga did, because like pretty much almost every volume teases you that there's going to be another volume at the end.
Yeah.
So I mean, in today's world where we have these like prolonged cinematic universes, it's easy to think, oh, you're just being a sequel. Well, no, it could be that, but it could be you're just going by the kind of ending that comic books give you, that this hero or this protagonist is never going to stop being your hero.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Well, certainly Alita's our hero, that's for sure. So, Angelus, I mean, you came on late. I asked Chaos and Safani sung already what they liked about the topics up there. Uh, what is it you would like to? What is your favorite topic about Alita, or one? I know you probably got about 5 or 6 or 10 of them, but what is one that you like to really explore a lot when you're talking to others about Alita?
Just well, without making it sound too Angela specific, my sort of introduction to the Alita movie and how that's like well pertinent. I don't know if that's the right word or not. Enough of a description for it. But you know, the primary reason why I went to even watch Alita in cinemas was because you know I hated critics. But the other lesser known factor is because I knew that manga slash anime adaptations had that hoodoo over,
Hmm.
and that like hooked my I guess it ensured that my like compounded with my hatred for critics at the time, and hate such a powerful word on its own, that
How about calling it an intense dislike?
an intense
Okay,
dislike,
let's
yeah.
do
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
And yeah, so I wanted to see, you know, I was actually familiar with the anime and never read the manga, but you know, I know that
yeah,
anime, you know, was just as much like derived from it. And
yeah.
I wanted to see how bad it really is, because then I can, like, when bitching about critics, um, even back then, as limited as I did on Twitter and Facebook and all that. But when bitching about critics, I could say, well, I watched it for myself and I didn't like it for these reasons. And this is why I believe it did or didn't, you know, whatever. And then Alita just blows me away like that. And it's that hook and how it expanded into wanting to buy the manga for the, like, because it's my first manga collection, wanting to know everything because, you know, I buy like, I still buy like a little bit of Ninja Turtles sort of paraphernalia and merch. Like I've got the last Ninja Turtles Last Ronin comics, uh, but not to the extent that I would with Alita. And even if I did have the money back then, I probably wouldn't have bought all the Ninja Turtles merch anyway, just like a few bits and pieces that I love. But you know, I come across anything Alita and I want it or wish I wanted it. But
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's kind of the
and
way
it's
I
also
feel.
that hook, for lack of a better term, that I also like to discuss when it comes to a leader. And like I said, it all comes back down to that pivotal moment back when I first discovered the movie, and then that's why I keep on saying, you know, the movie is, you know, the third part of the Holy Trinity that we needed.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I saw the movie first. Well, that's not entirely true. I did see the manga, but I mean, I kind of flipped through the pages and kind of read it because it's not a hard read. But yeah, mostly I was more deeply exposed to Alita, by the movie, and then of course I said, oh yeah, I remember this, that kind of stuff. But yeah, I kind of like you. One of the things about that for me was I saw the movie and then became aware of the critics and the haters after that, you know. And
Mm.
my reaction was after that, after seeing particularly the critics, bad mouthing it the way they did, and certainly the haters, what they came out with, accusing us of all kinds of stuff, us being in the Alita Army. I thought, what the hell? It's a movie, for crying outside. It's not a, it's not an existential threat to anybody. It's a movie. And these people were visceral in their anger sometimes. I couldn't understand that. But I was like you. I said, okay. In a way, I thought, okay, the critics said this about the movie, but that's not right. I didn't think it was in my mind either. So I let what I thought of the movie, kind of was my driving opinion of it, not what the critics say. Because I really, when I see that critic score on I guess Rotten Tomatoes, I don't really, it's not that important to me. What's more important to me is the audience score. And I saw that critic score start out pretty low, and it went up. It started coming up to 61%, I think, is where it is now, where it kind of ended up. But the audience score was always really high. It's like 92. And that told me that the people who were watching the movie were entertained, and they were getting it where the critics were not. So that's kind of the way I thought about it when I saw it. And I've always put more stock in the audience score anyway, as opposed to the critic score.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, I like the Zot. I like that. I certainly like the motorball, and I like all the action. That's my primary thing about the movie Alita Battle Angel. Well, of course, Zot's not in the movie, but any of the action stuff speaks to me first. But oh yeah, yep, she's got that ooh-woo going. I kind of like that, so that kind of adds to it, I think, a little bit. But the character's deeper than that. To me, the character is all about her perseverance and determination. That's the deepest part of it for me, for her. I mean, she looks like a little girl and all that kind of stuff, and it doesn't look very imposing, particularly in that doll body. But that perseverance and determination, and of course underestimating her like some of her opponents did, kind of hooked me. Particularly with Gerwishka, when she rammed her hand in his eye. We all know that story on this stream anyway. So anyway, that's kind of what I like about Alita, and I think Chaos and Safani and Angelus have told us what they like about Alita itself. What is the most important thing, that we've seen. And of course, Angelus, I know the uwu factors, like me, is important, because it's maybe not the most important thing, but, it is certainly her being cute, and of course you see a lot of Rosa in her too, in some shots, you definitely see Rosa's face, so, and I think that's pretty neat how that worked in. So anything else about this, guys? Any other Alita topic that's okay? Well, let's talk about what we like about the Alita. Oh, go ahead, Angelus. You're going to say
I was going to
something?
say nothing at all, really.
Oh, okay.
I mean, just that there's a whole world of reasons that that we do like about it, mainly because there's a whole worldwide set of fans out there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I kind of consider the Alita Army like a extended family myself. Of all stripes, and all political persuasions and all different cultures. I mean, that to me is what is really neat about the Alita Army. Now, tomorrow, Radio Chaos, they're going to talk about how we can all support Alita, just the IP. And we can talk a little bit about that here. Now, the Creek's not going to be there tomorrow, of course, because I'll be driving. But I might be able to get into the chat, but we'll see how that goes. But anyway, for me, I guess, and then I'll open it up to you guys. I like the first two bullets the most, I guess, and then go down to the manga. So, well, gosh, I guess I like them all, maybe. But I guess since we do this stream and we do the Radio Chaos stream, and of course I do videos, and of course I've read the manga and stuff like that, I think to me that's, all these things tie the Alita Army together, whether you love the anime or you love the manga or you love the movie. You're just as much Alita Army member if you love one better than the other. We don't care, And even if Alita is not your favorite movie, but maybe it's number 2, something like that, as long as you love Alita, we're okay with that. you're just as much a part of the Alita Army as anybody. So anyway, Chaos, what is it about the Alita Army you like the most, I guess? I think he probably had to step away. Okay, Safani Sung, what is it about the Alita Army you like the most?
I like all of them.
Oh, the artwork?
No, all of them. So like everything like. But
yeah.
Okay, can't talk that quick.
Yeah, that's a little bit like somebody saying, "What do you like? What's your best scene in the Alita Army?" I mean, in Alita Battle Angel, and it's like, well, when Ito discovers her all the way.
Mostly a fight scene in Motorball.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I like that.
I want to see more artwork for Alita and more drawing picture.
Yeah. Well, you're on Twitter. I mean, they got like, because I know I download artwork and put it in video form, but
I don't do much on Twitter.
Yeah.
I don't use Twitter because I don't use Twitter much. I have Facebook and Snapchat, not Instagram. I don't have one. Sorry.
Okay, so you're on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, right?
No, I don't have Instagram. I used to back then.
Are you on Reddit?
No, I don't have Reddit. I don't know try Instagram or Discord or anything.
Yeah, I have Discord as well. I don't get on it as much as I do the others. I think Angelus and Maxie get on, and KranberriJam get on Discord a lot, but I get on it every now and then. Yeah. So anyway, Angelus, what is it about this, any of this stuff about the Alita Army you like the most?
The fact that it is just a worldwide fandom and that we're like family.
Yeah. That's the people part, right? Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like, we're all brothers and sisters, or, well, in my case, I guess I'd be your uncle, but it's like Angelus and I were good friends, and I think Maxie and Angelus and I and Dizzy and all of us we've become friends. We have the same objective. We want a sequel, and I want a series, for sure. So, and I guess Finestro says he loves everything about Alita. Yep, we get it. Yeah, it's pretty difficult to just narrow it down to one bullet, that you see on the screen there. And the Creek probably missed a bunch of stuff too. So anyway, I guess that's pretty much it. Yeah, like I was telling Angelus early on, I wanted to kind of make this a short stream because I got to get up early tomorrow. So, and get ready to drive cross country, and I got to pack and all that stuff. So,
yeah.
Okay, Chaos, is anything? Are you back yet? I guess he had to step away. I heard his kids in the background. They were being kids, so he probably got tied up with them pretty good, So, okay, folks, I guess we can move on from this, I suppose. And did we miss anything, you guys? I mean, I know it's a short stream. We probably missed a bunch of stuff. So, any other thoughts here?
No, you pretty much hit it on the head.
Yeah, I think so.
Everything's all right. Creek is good and sweet.
Okay. All right, then. I guess we can move on. And of course, gosh, I got that in there twice. Look at that. Golly, look at how that happened. So anyway, oh well, did we miss anything? So I guess we didn't. Well, we probably did since this is such a short stream. But yeah, we all have established that, we all love Alita. We want that sequel and series. And, all of us in the Alita Army tend to think of ourselves as family members. I know I do, and I guess Finestro says the best thing he thinks about the Alita is that we're kind of like what you were saying, Angelus, that we're multicultural and all over the world. So that is a really cool aspect of the Alita Army, I think. Another thing I like about the Alita Army is the Alita Army is very generous. Anytime we have a kind of a fundraiser or something like that, the Alita Army ponies up, the money. And that's another thing. I think it's a very good quality for the Alita Army, the people in it. So okay, guys, I guess we can move on from there. There's our queen right there, as you can see. Rosa, and I say this every week, but I don't mind saying it again. Um, Rosa is Alita. She made Alita who she is now, and as we've mentioned before, rather that there were some pretty good actresses that she had to compete with to get Alita, and a couple of them would have been pretty good, but I think Rosa, she was by far a quantum leap over the others in terms of being able to be Alita. I mean, and certainly she's as passionate about Alita as we are, as we heard in that one video a few months ago when she was at the WonderCon herself. She wants a sequel, and so does James Cameron, and so does Robert Rodriguez. So, and I'll tell you, Rose is #1 in the Creeks book for sure. She's a great actor, and I think the movie in general, Alita Battle Angel, was overlooked. I think it should have been at least nominated for some of the awards, but it wasn't. So, because I think the effects in it were great. The acting in it was superb, particularly from Rose's standpoint. And I think it was snubbed. That's my opinion. So, and yeah, Finestro, I guess Finn says it's very true. Yes, it is. Yeah, but it is what it is. When we get that sequel, we can kind of thumb our nose at them a little bit, I guess. Or we can just be happy and party. That's the way I see it. Okay, Angelus, are you the host tomorrow?
Maxie will be, but I'll definitely be there.
Okay, so yeah, and I think we alluded to this a little while ago that we're gonna, on the Radio Chaos stream, they're going to be talking about how we can support Alita Battle Angel and push for that sequel. And I think probably you'll even discuss the series tomorrow too. In not just 2022. I don't think we'll get a sequel in 2022. They haven't had time to shoot anything. But what I do think is that I think it is likely we're going to see her get greenlit in 2023 after Avatar knocks it out of the park. That's what I think is going to happen, because they've already had, certainly the movie itself is overperformed, after it came out over the past 3 years. And of course, the Alita Army is, can take some of that credit, but as you can see, when Blu-ray sales were great, they keep showing it around the world, and it ranks in the top 10 every single time they show it. And now, of course, we hear that there's a discussion about a director's cut coming out in Europe. To me, that would be like a little bit of a feasibility type of study, if you want to think of it, to see how well it goes in Europe, and then try to play it maybe here in Australia and Asia, and just see how it goes, and that would be a factor. And I think it would go pretty well with those extra scenes in it. Of course, Boba Fett was a success, and when Avatar 2 comes out, I think it's going to be, I just have that feeling that Alita Battle Angel 2 is going to be reality, because I think it'll get greenlit after that. So anyway, I guess, Angelus, you saw my update to the show notes, didn't you?
Yes.
Yeah, I got like 10 things in there that I think you could do, and I know there's more. So I know there's a lot more, so they'll be discussing that at tomorrow's Radio Chaos stream.
Absolutely.
You betcha. Okay. So why is this image here? And of course, F. Nordley, he wants to, he's happy to be in the Elite Army. I can tell that. Or Nordley, not F. Nordley. Nordley. Hope I pronounced that right, Nordley. So anyway, But why is this image here? Because the Creek likes it. And the Creek is running the stream, even if it is short like it is today. And to paraphrase Gerwishka, I am only here for our girl and the Alita Army. And we are all here for our girl.
Okay.
Okay, guys, any last thoughts? Cool. So I guess what we can do is we can do the call to action here. And on my count of 3, actually what I'll do is I'll say 3, 2, 1, then we'll do the call to action.
You do the Spanish version in Spanish.
Yeah. 3, 2, 1.
Film those sequels.
All right. Good day and good night. And I said good day.
I'll see you next time we stream next week.
You betcha, Safani. We'll have our more regular stream next week.
Okay.
And we'll see you tomorrow on the Radio Chaos stream too.
Yeah.
Later.
Okay.
What's up, Alita Army? This is Hot Toys Alita, and I hope you enjoyed this week's Alita Livestream. Please join my Uncle Creek, Angelus, and our other guests for next week's show. Remember, I do not stand by in the presence of evil, and film those sequels, baby. See you next time.